Hello, guys. Now we are on episode 3, The Man of My Dreams. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. So, if you watched episode 1 and 2, then you know that Michael had finally arrived in Kenya now from our previous episode 2. And after months of talking online, texting every day, sharing dreams, and planning a future together, we were finally about to meet face to face. So nimeenda pale Jomo Kenyatta JKIA, and I don't think I've ever been that nervous in my entire life. The night before his arrival, I barely slept actually. So I kept imagining different scenarios in my head. What if he didn't like me? What if I didn't like him? What if everything felt awkward? What if there was no chemistry? And then there was another fear. What if he wasn't the person he claimed to be? So even though I trusted him, there was still a small voice inside me inaniuliza hizo questions yani. The question I tried the best to ignore. And the morning of his arrival, I woke up before my alarm. I must have changed outfits, like I said, 6 or 7 times, nothing seemed right. Huh? 1 minute I thought I looked amazing, the next minute I thought I looked terrible, and my roommate Sharon watched the entire performance. She sat on a bed laughing while I stood in front of the mirror for what felt like 100th time. Akaniuliza, Grace, it's just a man. Threw a pillow at her and we laughed together even harder. And akasema, if he doesn't like you, I'll take the flowers myself. Don't worry. I love to, but deep down, I was terrified. So a few hours later, I was on my way to the airport. The closer I got, the harder my heart pounded. Anxiety. And I remember checking my phone constantly. His flight had landed. He had gone through immigration, and I had even collected his luggage. Pale kwa ile machine na roller, and now he was walking out. I stood there scanning every face. Then I saw him, guys. Tall, handsome, confident, holding a bouquet of flowers, and for a few seconds everything around me disappeared. The noise, the people, the airport announcement, all of it faded away. And it felt like something out of a movie. Then he smiled, and I started walking toward him. I can't explain it. It felt familiar, like seeing someone I already knew. And then he reached me, called me princess. I'm here finally. He handed me the flowers, guys, and then he opened his arms. I hesitated for a second, then I hugged him. And just like that, months of distance disappeared. We closed our long distance relationship. We spent almost the entire day together, talking, laughing, getting to know each other in person. To my surprise, he was exactly the way he had been online, though. Actually, he was even better. A very handsome guy. They call him Igbo. Fair in complexion, tall, handsome, with the nini. Hizo nywele zinahitaji kwa mashavu. You know how the Nigerian guys are. They're very handsome and cute. And even more charming, more confident, and more attentive. And by the end of the day, I was completely convinced that everything between us was real. And over the next few days, Michael took me everywhere, imagine. Tulizuru Nairobi kote. Nice restaurants, beautiful parks. Hizo tourist attractions za Nairobi, you know them. Places I had never been before. Nilikuwa naziona tu. He paid everything, remember? Absolutely everything. And every time I tried to contribute, he refused. Alikataa, princess, don't worry. I can take care of you. He would smile and say, you're my queen. Let me take care of you. And at the time, it sounded romantic. And today I understand why it felt so powerful. Most people want to feel valued, wanted, and protected. And Michael knew exactly how to make me feel all the three. And a week into his visit, he asked if he could meet some of my friends. You know, campus girl with an international babe. So I was excited, very excited, because I wanted everyone to see what I saw. He was handsome, so had nothing to hide. So I arranged a small lunch. Sharon came, a few classmates came, everyone met Michael, and to my surprise, they loved him. Within an hour, he had everyone laughing, everyone smiling, everyone praising him, even Sharon. And the same Sharon who had warned me for months afterward, I pulled her aside and asked her, Sasa. She smiled. Like I said, I hate to admit it, but I like him. So that made me feel even more confident, because if Sharon approved, then surely everything was okay, right? And a few days later, Michael met my mother. Even though I was nervous, very nervous, my mother wasn't easy to impress. She was kind, but very observant, very observant. She noticed things that other people missed. So when Michael arrived, he came carrying gifts. Not flashy gifts though, just thoughtful gifts like normal shopping za vitu za jikoni na zawadi ya hizo Nigerian na African prints kutoka nyumbani. My mom must have a gift from Nigeria now, you know. And things my mother actually liked. So the two of them sat and talked for hours. When we left that evening, my mother surprised me. He seems like a good man, she said, and I remember smiling all my way home, because all the way home, because that was exactly what I wanted to hear. So for the first time, it felt like everything was falling into place, you know. My friends liked him, my family liked him, I loved him. So what could possibly go wrong, you know? Then one evening something happened that I should have paid more attention to, guys. I had gone out with a few friends, nothing unusual, just dinner and conversation. The phone was so silent. And when I finally checked it, my phone was on silent, you know. And when I checked it, I had several missed calls from Michael. When I called him back immediately, his tone wasn't angry, but something felt different. He asked who I was with, and how long I'd been there, and why I didn't answer. At first I thought he was worried, but looking back, I realized he wanted accountability. He wanted to know where I was, who I was with, and why he wasn't included. So the conversation ended normally, but something about it stayed in the back of my mind. Hiyo ni time sasa amesharudi kwao. Sorry guys, I skipped that part. He had gone back to his country. So something about it stayed in the back of my mind. Not enough to concern me though. I just went to notice. Just enough to notice. Still, I ignored it. And because by then I was deeply in love, and as the end of his trip approached, I became emotional. And I didn't want him to leave. So the idea of going back to daily phone calls after finally being together felt painful. So I'm trying to connect for you guys. And one evening, we sat watching the sunset, and neither of us said much. Hiyo ilikuwa pale kwa rooftop. Huko hii building inaitwaje, KICC. And we both knew his departure date was approaching. So then Michael took my hand and asked a question that would change everything. Akasema, Grace, have you ever been to Nigeria? I laughed. I said no. Then he smiled. Then maybe it's time, he said. So at first I thought he was joking, but he wasn't joking at all, guys. He told me he wanted me to visit him. He wanted me to meet his family, his parents, his siblings, his relatives. everyone. So I remember feeling excited immediately. Imagine a girl who had barely traveled outside Kenya being invited to another country by the man she loved. So it felt like a dream that was finally becoming a reality. But when I shared the idea with my family and friends, the reactions were mixed. Some were excited for me, others were concerned, and one particular warning would later haunt me for years because it turned out to be completely true. But at that moment, I was a girl who was stupid in love. I wasn't listening. I was already imagining my future. And that future was waiting for me in Nigeria. So, to be continued. So, episode 4, we will talk about passport processing, preparing for the trip, family concerns, arriving in Nigeria, meeting his family, being treated like royalty, and ending with a shocking discovery. Or can I call it odd behavior that you can't miss watching. So stay tuned for the next episode, guys. Thank you for watching, and click on the subscription button, guys, and turn on the post notification bell so that when I post the next episode 4, you'll be notified so that you don't miss on this.